Brooklyn Independent Television.
My name's Shawn Lyons, and I run Rabbithole. It's a gallery and an art space, and I run Rabbit Movers, a moving company that just hires artists and works with artists and finds ways to support the artists. It's kind of funny. When I was a kid, my mom got me into modeling for a little bit, and that was my one gig. I think I'm 6 on this picture. I don't know, it's our version of like the company motivational poster or something. We started only hiring artists, I think, in 2005. And right away it just worked out really nicely, because it gave an identity to the company and it felt more like a community than it did a job. And it was just a great feeling. You know, people would come to work at Rabbit and form a band together or do all kinds of collaborations together just from meeting each other at Rabbit.
The starving artist is, you can die from starvation. So it's good to work and make some money and get some food. And you can take off whenever you need. If you got a gig, if you have something else to focus on. If you're inspired for a couple days, take some time off moving and get your ideas down.
It just kind of evolved from there. After a couple years, rented a space down here as an office. And the first show we did, our office was behind this wall. This was going to be short-term storage for the moving company. But the storage wasn't really working out, and I was getting bored with just doing the moving company and wanted to do something different. And so we organized a dance performance. Was the first thing that we did here. And the dancers, we had, it was over 2 nights. I think we had 6 dancers perform each night, and they would just dance between here and about here. They had this space, and we didn't have any chairs or anything, but we had about 30 people lined up against the wall in kind of 3 rows, watching the performance, and it was great.
Your love is mine.
We change the exhibit every month. Then we also have Rabbit Tales. It's a reading series that we do once a month. And we rent the space out for photo shoots and events. It stays pretty lively in here. We have 9 studios that we rent out. And it's a great little community. And this studio is Brooklyn Creative. We offer classes in digital photography and all elements of photography.
So you got it on cloudy right now.
What should we go with?
Just try day white.
About a year ago, we started using our trucks as pop-up galleries. We call those art attacks. And we curate, for the most part, from within the company. We do our best to try to recreate a gallery feel.
The overall experience has been very amazing just because it's taking me out of a room and it's exposing me and my artwork to a whole new different crowd.
I want to get it smooth enough so that our artists on any day can just on their own decide to put on a show. I like that idea, that we can just sort of have an instant show anywhere, anytime. I like playing with space and with ideas of what can be done with it and where things belong and where they don't belong, and just putting a question mark above those ideas. Went to college in Philadelphia. Majored in writing, but lived at the art school there, and that's kind of where I got my interest in the arts. During college, I spent my summers in Alaska, and I lived in the woods in Alaska while working in the canneries. After college, went up to San Francisco and just kind of had that wake-up call that you get when you're out of college and you realize you have to get, a full-time job and pay a lot of money for an apartment, and I just I don't know, I didn't want to do it. I kind of wanted to recreate my Alaska experience in the woods, but in a city. And what I ended up doing kind of grew organically, building and living in what I called the hole. It was kind of a hobbit hole, that's the best way to describe it. It was in Land's End, near the cliffs. kind of between the beach and Golden Gate Bridge, there are a bunch of cliffs. And so it was a good spot, and it took 2 months to dig. It was clean and warm and cozy, and had a wood floor and a little table with a stove on it, and a rocking chair and a bed and bookshelves with books and plates, and it was nice. The hole was the first place, I think, that I had that felt like home. I was challenging myself, and I was challenging ideas of what's normal and what's not, and what's allowed and what's not allowed. And I think just by doing that, it gave me a sense of self-worth and kind of excitement that made the other parts of my life more bearable. So it felt like home, but it also felt more than that. I think I've tried to recreate spaces like that. A little after that, I got a sailboat and lived there for a couple years. I still have that on Newtown Creek, and another boat on the Gowanus that I'm fixing up that also kind of has that same feeling. It's kind of a refuge, and it's sort of transporting, and I mean, that was the thing with the hole too. When I went in, it made me feel like I was far away from where I was, far away from the city. In a way, far from my work and far from my problems, and it was sort of a sanctuary. But also, I like to think of Rabbithole as an extension of that experience. And Rabbit Movers, too, is, I guess I always saw that way, like a place where people can come to work, where we give them the freedom to follow their dreams and to be who they want to be, and to take the time that they need to figure out how to do that. If Rabbit was just a kind of a regular moving company, I think I'd be really bored. But this gives it more purpose. It's not just a business, but it really does support artists, and art is pouring out of it, and that just feels really good. And at the same time, just really becoming one of the best moving companies out there, but having that creative dynamic makes me feel like this is worth doing.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at bricartsmedia.org/BIT.